Well, I think Warner Brothers is trying to take first place in the worst studio around because this is obviously old news now. I think it's 2 days old. They canceled three studios, shut down three studios, which is absolutely insane. So first of all, we're going to go through their statement that they've released. We've had to make some very difficult decisions to structure our development studios and investments around building the best games possible with our key franchises. Harry Potter, Mortal Kombat, DC, and Game of Thrones. So basically what that means is they're going, hey, new IPs, new this, new that, kind of more niche franchises, who cares? We're going to be making all of our games for the next decades probably just around these four IPs. That's it. They don't see any money, anything outside, and they don't even want to try taking a risk. It's an understandable decision from a CEO perspective, but I think they think they're failing because they're not using the right IPs and not because they're making shitty games or canceling stuff right before it comes out constantly, because that's all they do. They make a game, announce it, it's in development for like 2 or 3 years, and then it gets canceled. They do it over and over again. After careful consideration, we are closing 3 of our development studios, Monolith Productions, Player First Games, and Warner Bros. Games San Diego. This is a strategic change in direction and not a reflection of these teams or the talent that consists within them. Yeah, no shit. Because these teams are really good. These teams are excellent. They made Middle-earth Shadow of War. Like, what? Like, which I haven't played, but I've seen it multiple times, and this thing has fantastic reviews. The development of Monolith's Wonder Woman video game will not move forward. So, yeah, remember 2021, I believe? They said, oh, we're making a Wonder Woman game, which honestly, pretty cool. I'm not a big Wonder Woman fan, but that sounds pretty cool, because we haven't really had one that is, at least in modern day. And if it's anything like the Batman or the Spider-Man games, that would be fucking awesome. And that'd probably get some more hype behind Wonder Woman, which she's kind of lacking in that department in terms of the other superheroes. But yeah, no, that's canceled too. Like I said, 2 or 3 years development. Oh, it's almost done. Cancel it. Let's get a tax break or something on it. It's baffling what they're doing. Our hope was to give players and fans the highest quality experience possible for their iconic character. Unfortunately, this is no longer possible without strategic priorities. This is another tough decision as we recognize Monolith's storied history of delivering epic fan experiences throughout amazing games. We greatly admire the passion of the 3 teams. This is just corporate speak. And thank every employee to their contributions. As difficult as today is, we remain focused on and excited about getting back to producing high-quality games for our passionate fans and developed by our world-class studios, getting our games business back to profitability and growth in 2025 and beyond. You can't do that if you're canceling all your studios and canceling all your games. What are you doing? This is baffling. I'm not even a big fan of some of their IPs. Like, their big 4 here, Harry Potter, Mortal Kombat, I've never played. DC obviously is just good. Game of Thrones I've never watched, right? I'm not even a big fan, but like, this is baffling if you're a fan of these franchises. This is like absurd. And here's the biggest thing. One of the studios that shut down made Middle-earth Shadow of War, which also has the Nemesis patent. So I have this thing here so I can probably describe it for you guys. The Nemesis patent the Nemesis system is a mechanic that was in Shadow of War, which they patented, which I think patenting any game mechanic is not right and shouldn't be allowed, because games are like art, and current developers build off the previous developers who build off the previous developers. And if you patent something and say no one else can do this, you are like gatekeeping games, and games can no longer, like, what if a new game comes out with this awesome new system? Like, what if Elden Ring patented having bosses with like their health and like fog gates? Like, you can't do that. It's stupid. Obviously, this is a bit more intricate and it's a bit more code related, but I brought this up because a lot of people don't explain what the Nemesis system is. The Nemesis system is basically like the orcs in the game would remember what happens. If you beat them, or if they beat you, they would move up in ranks and their army, or they'd come back and, from the dead and have like arrow or whatever in them, and they would remember that, and they would respond to you and have a personality that reflects what happened to them. It was a brilliant system, but it got patented, right? It's like, oh, okay, well, at least they'll probably use it. It's really dumb that they're patenting this gameplay mechanic, but at least they'll probably put it to good use and make another 1 or 2 release. They've sat on their ass on it. It's 2025 now. This patent goes to 2036, and this studio is gone now. And that patent doesn't just like come back out into the open. That patent is sitting there with Warner Bros. And they'd have to get another studio to jump on and make that to use the patent. Because otherwise, we're not seeing the Nemesis system until at least 2036. And I guarantee you, something got in my eye. Apologies. I guarantee you that they're going to try to drop something right before the patent ends and then try to reclaim the patent. Because I believe they can attempt to do that. Kind of like Sony with their Spider-Man stuff. But I don't think that'll work. But it's disgusting because they're only going to work on the patent when it's about to end and drop something for it. They're sitting on a game mechanic. which would have helped so many games. Like especially people brought up before, Ghost of Tsushima would have been amazing with the Nemesis system, having people in the group you're fighting, promote or demote or remember you from fights you've had. It's such an amazing system, and so many games would have benefited from this, but it just doesn't happen. It can't happen. Imagine this and Red Dead 2, like where the police can remember you better or something like that, and they can promote and stuff, and the Pinkerton family. Like there's so many games that could have benefited from the Nemesis system, which aren't allowed to use it, which is the conversation in its own right. Another thing, like FU Warner Bros. But then they just shut down the company. So guess what? We're not seeing this game anyway. We're not seeing another one that have this, and we're probably not going to see this game mechanic until 2036 or beyond if we're still kicking, right? This is honestly disgusting news. It's not the maddest I've been, because this is, for me, I'm lucky. This is like franchises I've never really dipped my toes into. But now I actually do want to play this, because I need to, like, it'll be my only chance to see the Nemesis system. That's the one good thing, is I haven't been spoiled on it, so it's kind of like I'm playing it fresh in like 2025, 2026, if I ever do stream this. But for a lot of people, they've been waiting for a new Nemesis system game for forever, and it's just not going to happen. This is just disgusting news, and it's like every game company nowadays just wants to go down the greedy path, be it 2K now, the WWE 2K, the Island games, which now has basically the My Park greedy microtransactions. Blizzard's been missing for forever. I feel like one of the only companies that's like hitting like the ball and consumer friendly is From Software. But even then, like, people are starting to go, oh, they're making like a greedy game, Night Rain. I don't agree with that. I still think they're making games that seem to be fun. But like, besides like From Software, people get mad when you glaze From Software too. But like, I'm waiting for them to fuck up and they'll join you. But they just don't do it. So you can't really get mad at someone for defending them. There's so many companies now that are just disgusting, especially with Activision with its actor strikes, and like they're probably going to try to use AI voices to replace the actors, and they're not like that's a whole debacle, which you can go watch some COD YouTubers about and watch 20-minute videos. That's a whole different thing. There's the thing with Apex Legends now, the French voice actors have to sign a contract that basically says that the company's allowed to use their AI voice, and if they don't sign it, they're not allowed to come back into the booth to even make new stuff. So at that point, it's basically signing over the right to your voice, so they don't even need to call you in, or you don't sign it and you can't come in either. That's another thing you guys should look up, the Apex voice actors for the French version, and don't be like, oh, it's just the French version, who cares? That goes through in the courts, that just goes through. It's going to go through everywhere else, because it's precedents, and the judge is going to look back and see what happened with the previous cases. It is, all the game companies are going down a pathway, especially Call of Duty with its Activision, like AI calling cards and everything. Every one of these companies is so dog shit now, which is why I think game companies like From Software deserve the love they get, or RGG Studios that make the Axie games, because they just put out a banger all the time. But Warner Bros is trying to take the cake, at least for 2025. We'll see if they hold on to it. I doubt it. There's going to be some other companies that are going to do even worse stuff. Guarantee it. This is what gaming is nowadays. There's got to be 4 to 5 of these stories a year. But shutting down 3 stations, studios, locking this patent behind the gates of hell, and the Wonder Woman game, if you're looking forward to it, well, you better look behind, because it's gone. Well, besides that, that's all I want to drop for you guys. Let me know your thoughts on this, what you think of the Nemesis system, if the people who have played it. I guess I should check this game out, because this is going to be the only way I can get the Nemesis system myself. But that's all I got for you guys. I'll see you guys on stream. Adios.